Hello, YouTube and X. It's your main man, BTM here, bringing you back to the BTM Crypto News Network. What's going on? Let's see here. Go back up through the chat. What up, Silver Days? What's going on, brother? XRP Army, what up, fam? Smash the like and subscribe. Zebec, what up, Hard Word? Zebec Network, let's go. What up, Yazim? What up, ZBCN man? To go back to where we started yesterday, how can it go up if it can't sustain? So, ZBCN man, it's coming down for us to pick it up. No, but seriously, it's coming down because people are selling, right? You got to keep in mind some people got in when it was extremely low, like 000. I think 3 zeros and a 7, 4 zeros and a 7. So coming up to the price it is now is a significant value for a lot of people. So they sold. That's why the price is going down. And you also have to take in there's still some market manipulation, right? Guys will come in and buy up a lot, pump it, and then sell and then wait for it to go back down and buy it up again, right? Like the big guys could buy thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars, make a couple of thousand because of the price goes up, and then sell it, and then wait for people to panic sell and buy it back cheap, right? Rinse and repeat. A lot of these guys are getting in cheap, buying it, running it up, making money, selling it, or taking profit and then buying back in because they know the price is going to go down as people panic. People see the price movement and panic and don't know what to do. But let me know your thoughts in the comments as well. And let's start the live screen and see what we have. Let me see. So let's look at X and see what we can see. So this is today, Zebec COO Simon joins an incredible lineup of experts at the final WBAW25 event discussing tech, AI, and ethics, chaired by Lord Tim Clemens Jones. The panel will explore stronger safeguards for those exposed wrongdoing and are essential to building responsible and trustworthy AI, an issue at the heart of innovation and credibility. So that was a meeting today, and that was actually a closed door session. So I don't guess we're going to hear too much about that. So I guess the next major announcement will be about the super app they're working on. And I haven't been able to find anything out about that. What up? What up, BTM fam? Back, be back, no. Be back, no. But yes, I was looking for that super app information and have not been able to find anything. So I don't know. Let me know if you guys have found that in any information about that. Keeping it moving. Circle, let me see. This is Jetpack Joe. Circle Payment Network announced in April, now live. The news is a momentum for the entire financial industry. The Circle Payment Network connects financial institutions, enable real-time settlements and cross-border payments using USDC, Euro, and other regulated stablecoins. CPN enables near instant 24/7 settlement payments using stablecoins like USDC. This allows Zebec real-time payroll systems would stream payments to employees by the second to operate seamlessly across borders without delays of traditional finance systems, which can be over a day to settle. So this is Circle, designed to facilitate the use of stablecoins for mainstream cross-border payments. This network coordination protocol enables financial institutions to exchange payments, instructions, and selling transactions on open public blockchain. CBN represents a leap forward for global payments infrastructure towards an architecture where interoperability, compliance, speed, and cost efficiency are emphasized. As more institutions integrate with CPN, we look forward to powering new use cases and advancing the standard for global exchange. Circle, the fintech firm behind USDC and Euro stablecoins, said April 21st that it planned to roll out the CPN in May, connecting financial institutions and enable real-time settlement cross-border payments using USDC, Euro, and other regulated stablecoins. Since our founding, Circle's vision has been to make moving money as simple and efficient as sending an email. CPN is a significant step in making this vision a reality for businesses worldwide. And who do you think would benefit the most from this besides Circle and XRP and the ZBCN, Zebec, the most licensed stable coin in the world, money transmitter license MTL in 46 states, the District of Columbia and Puerto Rico, bit license from the New York State Department of Financial Services. That means there's 4 states that aren't using this. That's weird. I wonder what those 4 states are. So let's see. Silver Days in the House. That was supposed to say Zebec, but talk and text put it as back. Okay, no worries. Peace, Halls, Balls, and Silver Days. Yeah, see my brother, what up? Sorry, I meant to say hi, but the traffic got heavy. No worries, bro. Don't text and drive, man. Don't be driving. Just keep it cool. We're here, bro. We know you're here. No worries. Not much. Just tuning in from work. What up, Yazim? At the workhouse. Let me see. Let's get back to X. See what else is going on. This is what can you tell us about the partnership between CodaPay, JPM, and Bank of America? That's actually pretty interesting. Let's see
What can you tell us? This is to Simon, or give us to confirm partnerships with CodaPay, JPM, Bank of America. These are all really exciting names as well.
So I listen to crypto all day at work. Get off at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Hawes Balls, my brother. Peace, BTM. No worries, bro. So back to the AMA from Monday, or tripping, Wednesday.
Well, Simon, so how are those things going at the moment?
So these companies have all been partners of Zebec and PGP for multiple years now, and they are core to the processing of payroll for our enterprise clients, of course, alongside Circle for on and off-ramp functionality. So this is not new news. These are companies that we've been working with for years now, and we plan to continue to work with and expand our relationship going forward.
Love it. Thank you very much, sir. What can you tell us? This is to Simon. Or give us to confirm partnerships with CodaPay, JPM, Bank of America. These are all really exciting names as well, Simon. So how are those things going at the moment?
So these companies have all been partners of Zebec and PGP for multiple years now, and they are core to the processing of payroll for our enterprise clients, of course, alongside Circle for on and off ramp functionality. So this is not new news. These are companies that we've been working with for years now. And we plan to continue to work with and expand our relationship going forward.
Crypto Clay, what up, fam? Welcome back. Zebec's ecosystem with Twitter Spaces reaction. Love the reaction regarding Robbie question, though the one out there for you too. These guys get all the credit for finding that Simon, CEO of Zebec, were classmates and graduated with the head of digital assets at BlackRock and former executive at Ripple, Robbie. Interesting. So this is crypto just flipped IRS refunds. What if your refund streamed into a wallet second by second, like it was subscribed? Zebec could reshape how the government delivers value. I know that's what's up, right? Starting having to wait to get a check in the mail, or
the IRS refund script.
they can
Imagine your
stream it
refund
to your account, which would be crazy. Silver Days always represents. Crypto Clay, let's go. Crypto Clay in the house. What up, brother? Eskimo brother for sure. Let's see what this is talking about real quick.
Zebec Network ZBCN crypto just flipped the IRS refund script. Imagine your refund.
Man, why is the sound so? Let me see if we can update the sound real quick. Wow, where's my dang sound extensions? What? I tell you, every day is something else. Come on, boss. Let me see here. I guess we're not using that today. See, oh, okay, I'm tripping.
Fund didn't take 3 weeks to arrive. What if it started streaming into your wallet while it was still being processed, like a Netflix episode playing live? Zebec Network is already making this possible through ZBCN, a blockchain protocol designed to stream payments in real time. Think of it like a digital faucet. Your money doesn't drop all at once. It flows, second by second, right where you can see it. Let's say your tax refund gets approved. Instead of waiting for a lump sum, you'd actually see your balance grow by the second. Each moment you wait, more value arrives. It's not passive, it's active, visible, and secure. Now think bigger. What if this wasn't just for taxes? It could work for student aid, unemployment, stimulus payments, any kind of government refund or reimbursement. With Zebec, one line of code says, start now, pay a penny per second. And that's exactly what happens. There's no manual transfer, no deposit delay, just constant, transparent motion of money. For government agencies, it reduces complexity. For everyday people, it removes the waiting game. ZBCN doesn't ask you to speculate, it lets you see the future of payments in action. Real value, delivered in real time. Want more crypto videos? Check out my playlist. Remember, this post is brought to you by the Crypto Chrome. Like, follow, share, and repost this video if you believe that crypto is the future, and the future is now.
So shout out to Crypto Chrome. This is ZBM 365. Get paid in real time with Zebec because every second counts. My favorite takeaway from the space was Zebec saying that the SOC 2 compliance by the end of the month. Scam projects do not go through SOX compliance. Yeah, you're right. You can't. A scam can't make it through. SOX compliance is very stringent, right? There's a lot of people that just talking out the side of their neck about scams, right? And scam projects. You can't be SOX compliant, bro. It is a lot, right? They're checking your transactions, they're checking your GL. I worked in audit for a short period of time. And I know you can't fake out or scam through SOX compliance. And actually, that's how they catch a lot of scams through auditing and um, ISO compliance, right? SOX 2 and what is it? I think there's a SOX 3. But I know when you start dealing with a lot of money or lots of transactions, you got to get SOX compliant, right? And that's telling you they're not manipulating or scamming or creating extra transactions or any kind of weird stuff, right? You're standing on business and you are helping people, right? Bullish family, a global movement. Teamwork makes the dream work. The international bullish family has reshaped my outlook on blockchain investments in cryptocurrency since 2018. And let's see what this video is talking about.
Okay, let's go. Shout out to the team.
Yes, sir. We gotta keep them in a holster, man. A lot of videos. We're gonna keep them in a cut though. Hey, let's
Say again? Well, it's family. No.
So let's keep it moving. A quick short there. This is a lot of people who fudded ZBCN. And SOX compliance is also voluntary as well, as they would not volunteer to get called out for being a scam. Zebec can catch up to top 20. I hope so too, Peter. And you're right, Crypto Clay. It's voluntary, but once you do it, you're able to access larger amounts of money or larger transactions. So without the compliance, you cannot access certain amounts, right? Outside of compliance, there's only so much you can do. Once you become compliant, that opens you up for bigger transactions and investments. Pretending like they were just doing due diligence. Here's the funny part. What was said on the space today, and every single Zebec holder already told them over and over again. Now they're flipping like fish out of water, flopping. Yeah, they are, right? Like your boy, Martine now is pro XRP. Bro, just take a seat. You're embarrassing yourself, bro. Just let it go. Um, when did this happen? I was looking at AI Tech's website just now and found it. How many companies does Zebec issue cards to in total? Well, if Zebec is issuing cards to AI Tech, the more the merrier. Why would that be a problem? I don't understand, right? The more transactions they're processing, the more it helps the Zebec as a whole, right? I would think. So I don't know that that would be a bad thing. So let me know your thoughts on that as well in the comments. And this is crypto or CKJ Crypto News 2025. The Zebec made it do the world tour starting in Vegas 2025. Zebec made it do Zebec made me do it world tour. Payroll for the future. ZBCN, the train is leaving the station. Entire video link below. News since 2027. So let me come back and see
I
what
said
this
the train is leaving the station for Zebec. That took Mr. Zam all the way back. That's just one thing about my stream. I always tell you guys everything. The ups and downs in life. But this is the most important thing of the theme for today's show. I know I sound like, no, I'm not going to say that. This is the theme for today's show. Because I want the whole world to know when the smoke clears, CKJ started the Zebec made me do a world tour in 2025. Trendsetter. Ask Crypto Mark. He's an archives and thrives for the beast from the UK. He's hopping out the Benz at the Trump Plaza.
The whole world in 2017 when I started making crypto content that cash was trash
And gold is old. Cash is trash and gold is old. In 2017, you started that? Damn, that guy knows.
I'm going to tell people for a decade about cryptocurrency.
You've been telling people for a decade, but then what happened in 2025, sir?
But then we come into 2025 and
Uh-oh.
we come upon the 100K challenge.
Okay.
And this year I told the world that 2025 I was going to issue the biggest calls in cryptocurrency.
Oh my God. Now, how did he do that, Elizabeth? Because I told the world, I said 2025, I feel it. I'm going to issue the biggest challenge in the history of crypto.
And then I came through with the Zebec challenge.
Woo! And then he came through with the Zebec challenge, which caused a frenzy in the crypto world. It started an uproar of, is this technology have the potential to be the payroll of the future? Zebec, the future of payroll.
I was actually expecting that to run a little longer, but whatever's clever. They don't do research is obvious. Apparently not. For all my AI tech airdrops on Uphold, they gave me 98. Bullzilla. Gold is old. Yeah, I was looking at something yesterday when they were talking about gold being the store of value, but Bitcoin is slowly but steadily catching up. Took K or CKJ 1 million Zebec challenge, and then I doubled it, and I'm still stacking. I'm trying to get up with you guys. So reflecting on the community spaces on X today, I also picked up from this morning spaces on X that RLUSD was loaded up on the Zebec Silver card, which no one probably realized. So this confirms they are still working with Ripple as well as a new product as Simon CEO. Some key takeaways from the space. Circle is early investor in Zebec, which we knew, and a longtime partner. Therefore, USDC is the core to their business products. So, Coast System and Payroll. RLUSD loaded onto Zebec Silver Card. Would you have been, being good at the time to announce this to the market because it signifies they are working with Ripple. Zebec said they are the original provider of stablecoin payroll. Bank of America, JP Morgan, GPG partners for a while, which are core to their processing of payroll for the enterprise clients. Super app driven by a new project manager from Stellus. Interesting. This is tomorrow's the big day. Zebec in Hadera. Zebec will be speaking in the UK, which is today, at the Lords at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So it's like in 30 minutes, give or take, right? Hadera will be getting listed on Kraken. X, y'all not ready though. Loading $1. CKJ Crypto News Bullzilla. CKJ Bullzilla. Pirates patch them holes and let's lift the tide. This is our moment to rise. Everyone's watching meme coins. Meanwhile, Zebec is making history quietly, globally, in real time. By the time you finish reading this, someone in Tokyo will be receiving a second-by-second payroll through the blockchain. Zebec became the first US-based crypto company to literally operate in Japan, one of the strictest fintech markets in the world. So that goes back to the point you guys were saying earlier, right? To be SOX compliant and to be working in Japan and in UK, which is also very stringent for laws and processing and how they do business. So if they can make it in UK and they can make it in Japan, they should be able to make it anywhere. So all this FUD people are talking about, there is no basis. Nobody researched it. These guys are saying all kind of weird stuff just to get what is that? Soft hands to shake out. And as they did shake out, these guys swooped in and bought the coins they shaked out, which is kind of funny, right? They fudded these guys out of the market to get in and buy up what you sold cheap and then wrote it up. Greetings. What up, Ali? CKJ, been on Zebec since 2024. Hello, Ali. So Visa plus MasterCard ready, regulated stablecoin payroll, real world adoption already in motion. ZBCN fuel the engine. Now ask yourself, if you pulled off this off of Japan, what happens when, if not, Zebec flips the switch in the US? Could we be witnessing the first real-time regulated crypto payroll system on American soil next? I think so. Because while everyone's distracted, Zebec's building the blueprint. This isn't hype. This is infrastructure and stealth mode. Okay. Median. See, is that the actual article? Let's see what article has to say. Caesar, Zebec is a mega bullish loading zone before new all-time highs. So this is CKJ Crypto News. Sneak peek into the official Bullish Family Telegram. We will be live 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Zebec made me do it worldwide. Tour starting in Vegas 2025. Just then, President Trump said stocks are at a all-time high and crypto is through the roof. Just in, crypto miner bit mining is shifting to Solana with plans to raise $300 million for Sol Treasury. Robinhood officially launches ETH and Solana stakings in the U.S. Things are a-changing, my friends. Things are definitely a-changing. So this is the article, Zebec World Tour, the crypto payroll engine going global. So I'll put this on the site for you guys to look at. Currently, Zebec is at 0031, down 2.1% on the hour, 12.1 in the last 24 hours. In the last 7 days, up 2.3. Last 30 days, down 20.3. Last 90 days, up 283.6. For the year, up 202.6%. So looking at the holders, currently Zebec is 75,669. In the last 4 hours, it's down 42. 12 hours, down 27. The day is up 155. 3 days, it's up 608. 7 days, it's up 329. 14 days, up 1,103. 30 days, it is up 240. Let's go. So looking at the 1 hour chart, looks like we're dipping back down to the 0031. Looks like we got over the 0035, which is the 0.5 fib level. And we're probably going to come on back down probably to the 003 or 29. I'm not sure. What do you guys think? That's on the 1 hour chart. Look at the 4 hour. 4 hours basically showing the same thing. It's dipping back down. For us to pick it up, RSI is 52.8. RSI based moving average is 63.3, and we're building volume on the 4 hour. Looks like the max about to cross and bring it down again. On the 1 hour, RSI is down to 27.9 and 26. We're still building volume on the 5 minute. And there was a MACD cross and the volume started coming down. We'll check the 15 minute. 15 minutes also showing RSI's down to 27 and we're losing volume. So this is live. Coin Watch is showing down 2.0%. Last 24 hours we're down 13%. 7 days we're down 1.9%. 30 days down 20.2. For the year we're up 237.2. Well, 90 days we're up 337.2. For the year we're up 202.3%. Looking forward to coin market cap. XRP 250, let's go. Let's go. Wait, is that 250? Hold up. Click to the bubbles because I think I skipped the bubbles actually. So on the bubbles, I'm waiting for the bubbles to come up. Let's see what XRP is doing. Zebec's down 12%, which is understandable after the run up yesterday. All right. Sell the rumor, buy the news. Either buy the news, sell the rumor. Sell the rumor. Buy the rumor, sell the news. So people sell when the news actually hits. Wow, XRP is up to $2.50, up 4.4 on the day, down 0.2 in the hour. MOG is up 21.8. Caspa is up 6%. Fortnite is up 11.9. ZBCN is down 12.2. Tau is up 7.7. Yoshi's 5.4. Sui 12.6. Snake 18.3. Virtuals is up 9.3. GigaChat 17.2. Brett 15.5. ArcPay 4.9. Algo 6.5. IZ 16 12.7. Turbo 8.2. Putty Penguin 24.9. Mudan up 10. Swarms up 13.8. Arkham 5.8. Gala 5.8. Jib 4%. White 4.8. Fartcoin 10.8. Jupiter 4.6. Bonk 10.3. Piles up 7.7. Renders up 6.1. IZO Cozy is 5%. XLM is up 5%. And we're going back to coin market cap. Coin market cap says down 13.3. Oh, wow. Market cap down to 268.2 million, down 13.3. 24-hour trading volume is 43.6 million, down 33.7. XRP. So let's look at CoinMarketCap. ZBCN has broke out of the clean falling channel on a 4-hour time frame. This set resembles the earlier rally in May that delivered over 320 upside. We may be setting up for another explosive move contingent on a successful retest. Trade setup entry retest on the 0029 to the 003. Stop loss to 0024 below the channel. Target 003, the 005, and the 06. Long term, 1 cent. Potential upside 360%. Let's go. So, why is Zebec down? Zebec network fell 7.8% in 24 hours due to profit taking after regulatory event driven rally and technical resistance. Post event profit taking around 13% rally linked to UK Parliament speaking engagement failed to break out attempt from a falling wedge pattern near the 0031 resistance. Market-wide resistance rotation as Bitcoin dominance rises to 63.9. Bitcoin is trying to take over crypto. Primary catalyst, the price decline follows a 13% rally between July 7th and 9th, triggering by Zebec's leadership being invited to speak at the UK House of Parliament on blockchain. The event-driven surge to the 0030 created overbought conditions. RSI 7 peaked at 62.7, leading to natural profit taking as the July 10th event concluded without immediate follow-up catalyst. Technical context, the pattern breakdown, price projected at the 003 resistance, upper trend line with following wedge active since May. Bullish momentum, MACD, histogram, turned negative at the 4016 despite bullish crossover potential. Volume confirmation, 24-hour trading volume fell to 22.5 to 46.4 million, signaling a weakest bullish conviction. Key levels, immediate support at the 0024, June swing low, resistance cluster at the 0031 and the 0035, 78.6 fib retracement. Market dynamics, altcoin weakness, CMC altcoin season index fell to 3.5 in 24 hours as capital rotation to Bitcoin dominance 0.28 to the 63.9. Leverage unwinding negative funding rates persists since May 20th, suggesting traders remain cautious about sustained upside. Macro breakdown, neutral crypto fear and greed index at 58 shows no strong direction bias across the market. So that the fear and greed index is actually moving up. Not quite to greed yet, but it's moving, I guess, out of fear, right? It was in fear and now it's in neutral. So maybe it might actually push on up to greed. Zebec pullback combines technical resistance and post-event profit taking and the sector-wide capital rotation. Watch for stability above the 0024 and Bitcoin dominance trends. Could regulatory visibility from the UK event translate to a fundamental progress that sustains the next rally? And that would be interesting. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think that the rally will continue to push from the parliament meeting? I'm not sure. I think it will continue to sail as people are still taking profits. But let me see. We got trying to see what the talking about with this Onyx ZXZN and Zebec.
Now, I'm not going to say we're going to be back doing the videos as usual, but we will be covering 2 coins in today's video. So we're going to be looking at Zebec. We're going to be looking at XCN as well, because we are seeing massive breakouts now across the board. So I do believe altcoin is here. We've been saying that for a couple of months, but we have got the official confirmation, certainly on the daily timeframes, that this is taking place now, guys. However, before we dive into it, make sure to hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed if you're not already. If you want to go one step further as well, make sure to click and follow the link in my X bio, or even down below on this YouTube video. You can join the Discord where we do, discuss price targets. We've got the crypto AI in there, etc., etc. Check it all out anyway. You've got 3-day free trial as well. Check it out, guys. Now, we're going to start off with the crypto bubbles, just to highlight on the week, on the daily bubbles. We'll take a look at the week as well, see how we're looking. Me particularly. Okay, however, Zebec and been here ever since we sort of topped out in sort of mid-January, okay, and we've got this sort of price action going on here. I'll even bring it down ever so slightly to get this sort of daily close. We had a very near miss up here as well before we saw a sort of rejection, that sort of liquidation event down there. However, what I want to get to, XRP has broken out of this macro resistance now. So this isn't just us breaking out the sort of, a weekly or, a bi-weekly sort of chart pattern. This suppression, this resistance has been coming in for the past 7 months. 7 months in the making. So this is a massive step in the right direction now to begin wave 3 of 5 in the Elliott wave count. Now, if you're unfamiliar with Elliott wave count, wave 3 is the biggest move in the entire cycle. So we're not talking micro patterns or micro cycles. We're talking monthly and yearly cycles here. And this is what XRP has been doing in the past couple of days. So for me, altcoin season is literally being confirmed in the last couple of days, certainly when we get close today. Now, the exciting part is similar sort of setup here. Even if we just delete this here, you can see this sort of resistance. Now, this resistance is happening on a smaller time period. Now, for instance, XRP has been playing out since sort of January with that resistance being broken. This sort of resistance has been formed ever since we set that sort of local high, or certainly the 25 high back in sort of May of this year. Okay, so we've broken out. And it was this massive green candle that we experienced yesterday with Zebec. So Zebec broke out. We got the green sort of close, which confirms that we broke out of this sort of red trend line here. So we've broken the camel's back. And now I do believe Zebec is going to pick up in pace. Now, before I start looking at targets, I want to show you guys in the previous video, I actually talked about the daily and the weekly previous closes, before we broke out. So this sort of daily close was up here. And this is exactly where Zebec is trading now. So this is what I mean. Look at this if we scroll in, right on that blue line. Okay, what I'm going to do, just delete that for now, just to simplify things. So this is where we're hitting now. We're hitting a little bit of resistance. Now, we are Thursday at the time of this recording here, so I do believe we could see a little bit of sort of rollover to retest. Where we break out resistance, we flip resistance into support. So what you do is you break through the red trend line, you come up, and then you come back down to tap it. Okay, then you get extra confirmation over the weekend, and then next week Fedwire goes live. I do believe it's not just going to affect the ISO talk, because I feel like it's going to affect the whole of the crypto market, because we're synchronized. Altcoins are synchronized. Usually, if one of them's doing well, 90% of the market's doing well. You're always going to see laggers in any sort of conditions. Okay, so there'll always be laggers in the market. So that is.
So as you mentioned, right, when it comes up, It's only going to go up so far before there's a pullback. So that makes plenty of sense, right? The pullback happens and the price comes back down, right? People get in, people get invested, and the price goes up, but eventually the price is going to come back down because a lot of the investors that bought in made some money, so they're going to take profits. So it's normal for the price to come down. So don't get caught up in FUD or people telling you, what is it, a dead cat bounce, or the price is coming back down, or it's a scam, or it's market manipulation. This is generally how things work, right? It goes up, people take profit, then the price goes down. But as you can see, we are holding pretty strong, right? We're still at 74,669. And while waiting for it to refresh, I thought we'd hit that 75,000. It looks like holders are leaving because they're taking profit. But let me know what you guys think about that as well. Let me get back to this video.
We see a green bar popping out, and this, guys, is extremely significant. This indicates that there is a crossover on the 1-day MACD, and this is probably one of the strongest buying signals that we get from any such indicator. And of course, the last time, just to show you guys what happens when we get a crossover, the last time that happened was the 20th of May. Have a look at when we saw the red bars turn green. So you can see the red bars down here turned into green bars. We saw a crossover of the two lines. And shortly thereafter, we saw the prices from this point basically do this 4x here on Zebec to the high there of 0.007. So that's the significance that we see from a crossover on the MACD on the 1-day chart. And we are potentially seeing a repeat of what we saw back in May. Of course, to confirm this, we need to see today close with this green bar on the MACD. Of course, if that happens, that is extremely good news. So on top of this falling wedge pattern that we are seeing here on Zebec, we've also potentially got a confirmation here on the 1-day MACD. And if this is confirmed, guys, I do think that we could be going quite a bit higher here on the shorter term. So my first target, if we get a true repeat of what we saw in May, my first target would be 0.0054 as a result of this falling wedge pattern. If we get up to this level and we can break past this 0.054 level, which coincidentally is also a strong resistance here on Zebec, if we can break past this green line where it currently stands, then we could be heading to previous all-time highs as the next target at 0.007. And if Zebec can break past that level, then the next target for us in the shorter term could be up to the 0.01 cents level. Now, of course, this level would be a big psychological level in the shorter term. So if we can break past the price target from this falling wedge, the previous all-time high is coming next. And if we can break past that, then 1 cent is on the table. So these are some of the targets that I'm looking at in the shorter term. If the MACD repeats what we saw back in May, and if we see the price target hit from this falling wedge. So of course, all eyes are on the Zebec chart right now. I do think the shorter term here on Zebec is very, very exciting. Of course, on top of that as well, if we have a look at Bitcoin, things are just getting better and better. Have a look at the structure here of Bitcoin. Of course, whenever Bitcoin is making these bullish moves, we generally tend to see the rest of the crypto market follow as well. And here on Bitcoin, we've been watching this bull flag that's been occurring since May here. And as of yesterday, we have seen a breakthrough here on Bitcoin of the upper trend line here from this bull flag pattern. So if this bull flag completes, we are potentially looking at a price target here on Bitcoin of at least 140,000. Of course, let's just zoom out and see 149,000 here for Bitcoin. Now, undoubtedly, if Bitcoin makes that move up to this region, that is going to be very bullish here for crypto as well. What I find fascinating is that Zebec has actually broken out from its falling wedge at the same time that Bitcoin has started to break out of its bull flag. So maybe that is a sign indeed. And so, in my opinion, there's plenty of reasons to be bullish on Zebec. If there was a time to be bullish on this token, now is that time. So, having said that, if you guys want to get $10.
So was there ever a time to not be bullish on Zebec? What are you talking about, bro? What do you mean? Is there something in Zebec that makes you want to FUD it, or that makes you want to not be bullish on it? I have no idea why. Right? It is literally streaming payroll, guys. I mean, what's really going on? What the f? Bitcoin touched the 117. I missed that. I know it got to 112. I didn't know it got to 117.
Completely free to buy some Zebec. Then don't forget to check out the MEX exchange. As you can see on the screen, they're giving every new user who signs up using the link in the description down below $10 to get started. Of course, don't forget that this exchange does not require KYC to buy, sell, deposit, and withdraw your crypto. And of course, the only thing that you need to do is deposit some fiat currency or crypto into your new account. And of course, once you do that, they'll give you that $10 straight away. So like I say, you can buy as a support. And look at what's happened with Zebec over the past few days. Is that the 200... So, of course, this is what we are watching for here on Zebec in the shorter term. Just very, very finally as well, what I want to show you as well, just something that I have noticed is that the 200-day moving average, this is something that is very important in the longer term. Basically, the 200-day moving average is tested as a support and resistance. And generally, when we're in a longer term bullish trend, we see this moving average tested as a support. And look at what's happened with Zebec over the past few days. As soon as we hit this 200-day moving average, we can see that the prices have bounced from this region. And that's probably why we've seen this sharp pump here on Zebec. If I show you Bitcoin, for example, we see something very similar every time Bitcoin comes down to its 200-day moving average. The prices don't like to stay below it too often, particularly when Bitcoin is in a bullish trend. So essentially, this 200-day moving average, very important support for the price here on Zebec. Every time the prices come down to this 200-day moving average and we're still in a bullish trend, we could possibly expect there to be quite a sharp pump from this region. So that's something as well to note. Now, for the longer term here on Zebec, let's just get rid of those annotations, get rid of the MACD. What we are looking for in terms of price target for Zebec in 2025 fall along these fib levels. And essentially, we use these fib levels to predict where the price might go for Zebec in 2025, because at the end of the day, you can see that Zebec has used these fib levels on multiple different occasions as supports and resistances. So most recently, the prices on top of that 200-day moving average has come down to the 0.786 fib and tested it as a support. So these fib levels hold the price of Zebec. And essentially, when the prices get past their previous all-time high, we can expect the next price target, the next immediate price target to be this 1.618 fib here, which sits just beneath the 1 cent region. Now, of course, we discussed that for the shorter term. So my first longer term target for Zebec is 0.017. That's where the next fib is. But my main target for Zebec is this extended fib here, the 2.618 fib, an important fib level here for Zebec. And that sits at 0.046. So that is one of the main targets for us here on Zebec. The other one, just going based off round numbers, is 0.1. It's a bit like 100K Bitcoin. As soon as the prices got to the 100K region, we saw quite a lot of selling pressure. So if the prices here on Zebec get to the 0.1 here in 2025, we can expect there to be a lot of selling pressure just because it's a round number. So these two are my main targets for 2025.
So what he's saying is 4 cents. So let's just do our quick average. Got a meal time. What is that? 0.4? Yeah. 40K. I can live with it. And he said 40K to 6K. 0.6. 70K I can do as well. But I think it's going to get more than just the 0.6, right? But let me know what you guys think. Your price prediction for 2025.
Now, for the best possible chance to get to these upper targets here, particularly past 0.046, what we need to see here on crypto is essentially we need to see an altcoin season and we need to see extreme greed and euphoria return to the market. So right now, we can monitor that by going on the CoinMarketCap homepage and just looking at these two indicators here. Now, the left one, fear and greed, is essentially the sentiment in the market. It measures the emotions, and the higher the number, the more positive the emotion. What we want to see for the best possible chance of those prices reaching the targets that I mentioned, we need to see this. And this altcoin season index just measures how well altcoins as a whole are performing against Bitcoin. So the higher the number, the more altcoins are outperforming Bitcoin. And at the moment, you can see that this number is at 26. We need to see this at above 75 for the best chance of these price targets. Now, if you don't really care about the shorter term price action and you're just a longer term holder here on Zebec, then what I would do if I was in your position is just periodically monitor what these two values are at. And if these two values are extremely high, as in they're getting close to the 100 region, then that should tell you that the markets are pretty close to their peak. And now will not be a bad time to think about selling your holdings. So that's basically what.
So again, that's when the profit taking starts. When you get past, I guess maybe 50% on this altcoin season, and you can see here it went up slightly. In the fear and greed index is at 0, so we're at 27% on altcoin. This is altcoin season, and we are. I don't want to do that. Still well below full on altcoin season. Not performing. Why is it showing me 90? Can I get this in 7 days? Can we change this? Probably not. Bitcoin looking for Zebec on the 90-day, and I don't see it. It's weird. If it's not in the top 100, I think it is right outside the top 100. So let's see what Caesar has to say. And we're actually playing this video, and then I went to the wrong video. So let me do this, then we'll go back to
Zebec.
Caesar.
Now, what I wanted to show you, so this is what I was highlighting in the previous Zebec video that we did. So I was looking at these sort of highest weekly closes here, which is this green candle here. And this was before the breakout. So this is what we've done now. We broke out, come back down to retest. We got a successful retest because even though we come below the blue line, we actually fell below support ever so slightly. We got a strong reaction from the bulls, and the bulls stepped in massively. So they bought up. So this was almost like a fake breakdown, if you will, a fake out to the downside. And then we got that close. So many of the investors were probably looking on a Sunday, just gone thinking, oh my God, we've actually, closed below this previous weekly high. So a lot of investors probably would have cashed out or at least closed their positions. Now, for people obviously following Zebec over on X, over on YouTube, have obviously held strong because they understand that you do come across fake outs quite common. Yeah, fake outs are very, very common in these markets. So we got the fake out down below. It's been bought up. So this is a strong indication that Zebec is going to continue to the upside, in my view. That is in the medium to long-term future. Okay, like I said, what I would expect now, if I draw it out to my best of my ability, I'm not exactly any sort of artist, but I'd imagine going into sort of Sunday, the sort of 13th of July, something along these lines. Monday, we're going to see a big reaction with the ISO coin. So I'm not saying we're going to go absolutely parabolic, but we get going in the right direction. Continue. Again, this isn't just over the day. Obviously, again, I cannot draw for shit. Do you know what I mean? It's even harder with.
And saying it's going to pump again Monday, which makes sense, right? If it pumped, kind of pulled back today and through the weekend as people take profits, then the word gets out, and then people want to know what it is, and they start buying it back up. We could make that pump next week. Plus, I think there's an announcement coming from the president next week on crypto as well. Let me know if you saw that or saw any information about that. p.m. Let me see, we're at hour. So we'll play this Caesar and end the day. Thank you guys for joining. Don't forget to like, share, and super chat. But let's see what this Caesar's talking about and close it down for the day.
After dropping, right, your little first retracement here, I really wouldn't be surprised if we saw a little correction here. Okay. Yes, we went a little bit higher than where I thought we'd go. I thought we'd find resistance if we're looking at it here. Originally it was 0.034. Then we looked at it from a high to a low, going to 0.0355 made sense. But it's super common to do this exact thing where you go above the 382, you come back below it, you go to the 236. I wouldn't be surprised in the least if that's what we did. Right now, just at a first glance, and this does not mean that this is the prediction, stick to the end of the video, right? I like to surmise it by the end of the video after we get all the details, but 0.03 will probably be the area that we find support, okay? Probably at this point in time. We have a higher high in the RSI. Do you see it? Do you see it here? Higher high in the RSI, right? We have a lower high in the price. That is hidden bearish divergence. Now, hidden bearish divergence is not significant in the same sense that bearish divergence is significant. That's much more significant. This is just a little momentary kind of pullback, right? Let's see if we can find an example of that real quick, okay? Let's see. So right here, right? And don't get me wrong, it's probably intense when you move up and you move down like this. It's probably intense while it lasts, but from here to here, you have a lower high. Here to here, you have a higher high. Was that drop in all respects, like a 12% drop? Is that really that intense for ZBCN? No, that's not. That's small potatoes. And you started moving up afterwards, right? It wasn't a big deal. Now, are you going to move down like this? Is that what I'm saying? No, that's not what I'm saying. I mean, maybe it's worse, but probably not. Just something small in reference to the overall uptrend that is building right now. Right? That's all I'm trying to exemplify with that there. You got above the 50. That's a nice look. You probably get back below it. You don't seem to respect the 50 too much, right? Here you found support at it. Here you found resistance just above it, support right at it there. Resistance just above. Looks like you actually like to find support at it. So maybe you do find support at it. Let's look at the 1 hour time frame. We'll zoom out from there. Bitcoin, guys, 113.3K. Whoo! 6 hours, 46 minutes left in the day. Beautiful. Beautiful, man. Absolutely beautiful. Probably keeps pumping, by the way. We're looking at the liquidation map here. I don't know why it's on the 30-day. I thought I had it on the 1 day. But there's a lot of shorts that are going to get liquidated here. We got like $1 billion of shorts at 114K. And if we're looking at Bitcoin here, from this relative high to low, you're 1886. Like you're right there, man. You're literally right there. I think we're either going to stop at 113.5 to 114K, or we're going to make our way all the way up to 115K fast, you guys. We'll see. Time will tell. But I don't think the buck stops here. It might stop here. It might stop just above where we are now. But let's get back to ZBCN. Okay. 1 hour time frame looking bullish. Actually, that's a nice bounce off the oversold zone. You do have lower lows in the RSI with higher lows in the price, so that's you're getting a little bit of a bounce here. I would expect that you continue going lower though. Let's look at this with some volume on it, right? We can look at it with some volume. Let's see here. 5-bit, yeah, perp, yeah, because that's all it has is perps. That's right. Moving down with a little bit of volume, moving back up with volume. I still think you do go a little bit lower, but that's a nice little bounce. Finding resistance at prior areas of support makes sense to me. 4 hour time frame. Looking at it here. Yeah, you were overbought. Now you're not. You know, you have hidden bullish divergence here as well. So you probably do close this up a little bit. Maybe you go slightly higher. Maybe you do, and you get some bearish divergence, and then you come down. But I would expect some kind of return to that 0.003 area. That's where that relative 236 is. From a low to a high here, 0.031 right there, 0.031 to 0.029. That's a good target area to have. Could you go lower? Sure. And if you do go lower than 0.003, if you go down to like 0.026, 27, that's okay. It's really not a big deal. Do that. You're fine. 4 hour RSI looks immaculate. I think if we look at this here, you have a date with destiny with this trend line. So regardless of what you do in the meantime, whether you go up a little bit and then reject here, you go up a little bit more and you reject here, or you just go down, I would say don't get too excited until you bounce off of this, right? Until you bounce off of that trend line. And probably not a financial advisor. This is a little trick that I like to use. If you're expecting, like I am, that you're going to bounce off this trend line, hear me out, right? Pretend like we were looking at it here and we wouldn't know where the trend line is back here, but let's just say we were expecting you to bounce right there. I would bet on this candle, there's a wick that is lower than the close. Okay, it's a red candle, but the wick, there's a wick that's lower than the close. That means at some point the RSI is actually below where this trend line is. Okay, and if you look here, look at that. Not even just on this candle, but on the next candle, you actually had a wick below. So if you tried to buy below the trend line, does that make sense? Right? Wherever the price will be, I don't have the formula out. I don't know what the calculation would be exactly for this, but if we were to wick and you see that the price is low enough where the RSI is actually below this trend line, but we're on the 4-hour time frame, there's still like 3 hours left, an hour and a half left. It might have enough time to come back up and leave a wick behind. I would anticipate that, right? Like let's say the price is low enough to where it's below the trend line, but then there's 3 hours left in that 4-hour candle that comes back up and you close right here. Now you're actually bouncing right off of it. This little blemish below doesn't matter, right? So just a thought, buy below the trend line. Count on it to bounce. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. Do whatever you want, buy or sell or do whatever the hell you want. But I don't think we're in a good time to sell, right? Anybody and everybody. I had a person ask me yesterday about, okay, so ZBCN moved up. Do you think we're at a good point for me to take profits and then buy back in? I think that's a terrible idea. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. If you're trying to trade this thing, yes, okay, probably this is a good area, and even a little bit higher maybe might be a good area to find some kind of resistance where you sell and you can buy back as it reverts back down. Maybe, but
Yeah, I do agree with him on that one because selling and buying back in is very tricky. I've done it several times and I only got it to work a few times. Most of the time, you miss the buyback in point. So you don't actually get back in, you sell, and when you buy back, you probably pay more than what you had to begin with. So you don't actually profit, right? You probably lose because the price that you left is not the same price that you come back in. All right, Silver Days, have a good evening. Peace out, brother. And let's finish this video, then we're going to clock out our sales. But thanks for joining. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And let me finish this video.
that maybe kind of sucks, right? Because maybe you get a chance to buy back down here, maybe. And I would expect that personally. And even if I was expecting that, if my life savings was in this thing, I wouldn't be trading it because maybe you do go down there. But definitely you will see new all-time highs. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but it helps to put things in perspective. Maybe you get a drop, and if you're a cookie cutter perfectionist, maybe you get a 13% drop and you can capitalize on that. But absolutely, you got 185% coming. Yeah, absolutely, you've got 445% coming. Absolutely, you've got prices that are higher than that coming. Who cares about a 13% drop? This is not the time to be cute, right? The time to be cute was over here. It was all these DCA moments, right? All the cuties left. They got all upset because the price actually. Some of you actually came around and owned that you were loud at the top, and you humbled yourselves, and I really appreciate that. I've been there too, man, and that happens, and it's important. The people that did that understand that now, whenever that happens again, whether I'm here or not to tell you, okay, we've got bearish things are probably going to go down, you might actually just remember the euphoric can't be beat kind of moment and think, you know what, maybe it's time to take a little bit of profits. The price is moving up, the volume is dying down, we were very robust, now it's moving slower, and even if you don't time it properly, right? Like I certainly didn't. Back here, again, I'm not Mr. Perfect. Back here, we were calling for the price to go to this exact area. And then the next day with that bearish engulfing candle, I got scared. I'm like, all right, that was it. We're done. And it took some time, but even if you sold the low here and you waited, you trusted the process, you still sold at a relatively good time. Even if you sold the low there, you guys, we timed that low. We didn't time the high perfectly. It did go to the area we were expecting it to go to some degree, but even if you didn't time the high perfectly, we timed the low pretty perfectly. And I mean, let's be fair though. Let's be fair. I actually called for it to go to 2.9 cents. So it would have, if I had my buy order set, and knowing me, I would have had my buy order set. I would have been at 26. We didn't time it perfectly, but that's the whole point. You don't care, right? Imagine that you're the person who sold right here and then you bought right here and now the price is here. You don't care. You're doing great. And now you can just hold. You have extra cash, extra capital, extra ZBCNs because of it. and now you're on the up and up, right? Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. Last time I'll say that in this video, I swear. But oftentimes where I say it's time to sell or where I say it's time to buy, the price goes a little bit through that. So if I'm ever saying here's the top, wait a day or two. If I ever say here's the bottom, wait a day or two. It's called the Caesar special. But that doesn't mean that we're not near the bottom, right? These indicators, I like to jump the gun because instead of trying to time this exact low and being cute, I'd rather just get in. I don't care. I'll sit through the pain. That's my style because I've been that person, that perfectionist, that cookie cutter mentality where I'm trying to time the lows, the highs perfectly. And I promise you, you're much more likely to miss the lows and miss the highs if you try to time it perfectly than if you just get in and you sit through the pain for a little bit. That's just, at least that's how it is for me. So that's why I do it that way. Not everybody's the same way. Some people are perfectionists and they get it done right most of the time. They don't catch every single pump, they don't catch every single dump, but they get it right most of the time, and that's good enough for them. If I try to be a perfectionist, I don't catch it most of the time. So I just generalize. Generally speaking, this is a very nice move up. That's the exact type of reaction you want to have. You couldn't even get to your prior areas of resistance. You're so damn bullish. There's not enough selling pressure. You saw the signs beforehand. That was a dead giveaway that we were about to rip, and rip we did. Absolutely phenomenal. Consolidate here. Okay. High to low. You're just above your 382. You'll probably go down to your 236. And there is so much buying pressure that maybe you don't even get down to 203. This is why we don't play this game of selling and buying, because if you were trying to buy here, that's very logical. But guess what? Logic goes out the window when there's demand. If it's logical to go down here, I would assume there's not a lack of demand for ZBCN now. If, definitely, if there was no lack here, there's probably not going to be a lack here. There's probably a lot of people who are crapping their pants trying to get their checks together so they could put more money into the markets. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be surprised if you went a little bit lower, sure, but something between 0032, 003, something around there, and then you'll continue to move up higher. We'll probably see prices go, if this happens the way I expect it to, you should move down a little bit, find support around here, and then go up to the golden ratio, find resistance here, okay? Right where you found resistance before at about 005. Then from there, you'll pull back, you'll find support at the 0.5382 area, and then from there, you should go to the 786, 886 area. And this is where things get interesting, because from here, you could just rip through the roof. But if you were being a good little boy or a good little girl, whatever ZBCN is, and you're following structure, you'll pull back to your golden ratio, find support there, and then that's when exciting times happen. The way that I have it drawn, it would be August that you're starting to break out to new all-time highs. Don't worry about the timing. I'm just drawing this in a way that's comfortable for me. It could move up a lot faster or slower. I think that we will see new all-time highs either by the end of this month of July. It really could be by the end of this month. If not, sometime in August makes sense. But we should be above 005 by the end. We should be above 0055 by the end of this month, maybe even pressing 006. If we're not at new all-time highs, we're at least going to be around there. But I think targets reserved for about like 1 cent or higher, that will be in August. I don't believe that what you're going to do from here is just rip right through the roof. I think you're going to configure yourself. There's going to be a lot of people who are assuming that because this was our last performance with ZBCN, that it's going to do this exact same thing. So then whenever anything else happens, you're like, oh no, it's broken. And people panic sell. They make the wrong decision. They try to get cute with it, right? Don't do that. Just sit on your hands, buy the dips as they come. I'll be here to hold your hand. Not while you're sitting on it, though. You got to get it out from under there. Wash your hands. I'll hold your hand with you, okay? Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'm very much
So again, thank you guys for joining. And as always, I'm shutting it down. But let's get back to the money, guys, and stay dangerous. It's your main man, BTM, out.